That song fucking blows.
Monmouth and Ocean County malls, correct?
I'm going to New Jersey.
Fucking loser. Tired of turning the dial and not being able to find a fucking thing worth listening to? Then it's time to kill your radio and get online with the Savage Crew. We're putting a stop to fuckery like this.
An epidemic we've been reporting on for more than a year now.
Internet users get outraged
I don't care
easily.
who he is. He should not have shot that animal.
The Washington Redskins to change their name, which many consider racist.
Hitting you right between the eyes with hot gobs of comedy, pop culture, politics, music, and dick jokes.
Fucking loads all over your fucking faces.
We've even got our own twink.
Oh, hey.
Now sit back, relax, and put the revolver down. Russian roulette is gonna have to wait. The Savage Hour starts right now.
Let's take the cheese.
Alright. Gary's here, the Savage Hour can begin. Let me fuck with this fucking mic level a little bit. Alright. Here we go. Alright, welcome to the Savage Hour. Gary's in the house. Gary, say hello.
Hello, listeners.
What is it? January the 9th. We'll probably have this up for you on Friday, so by, I suck at math, the 14th, 15th? Be able to listen to this one?
I think it's the 15th, yeah.
Alright. Before we get going, just a quick, usual social media plug. If you're looking for us on Facebook, we are the Savage Crew. Patrick Bateman is the avatar. If you don't know who he is, go fuck yourself. Same thing on Twitter, at the Savage Crew. If you want to find me on Twitter, it is at Mike Montone, and it's just me. Pictures just me smoking a cigar with a pair of shades on. Looks like I got a big brown cock in my mouth. Gary, you on Twitter?
I had a name. It got banned. I was Eduardo Cock, and then it got banned by Twitter. So,
What'd you get banned for?
The name. So
you got banned for the name?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I can still search, but I can't post anything.
That's fucking weird. There's so many porn accounts on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fucking odd.
Someone found it offensive, and yeah. Although I did win my not fantasy football, but one of the leagues with a dude we knew, where you pick against a spread, and my handle was Eduardo Cock, and I came in second and won some money there. So
Head Cock is number 2. How much did you win?
$500.
That's a fucking solid.
Yeah,
that's a solid pull for a weekly pick'em pool.
Yeah. What was the season total? And with weekly prizes, of which I won 3 of the weekly prizes. So I was able to buy myself. I haven't bought myself anything yet, but eventually
you buy yourself.
I'll buy some more Viagra.
Nice, nice Sibian to sit on. And you fucking shake, rattle, and roll.
Yeah.
So before you came over, I was watching this documentary on HBO. It's one of those health documentaries. They were looking at obesity in children. Mm-hmm. Sort of a we are what we eat type thing. And it struck me as odd because I was thinking about the Peyton Manning thing, which we can get to in a second. You've seen the documentary Bigger, Stronger, Faster, right? The steroid one?
think I was the one who introduced you to
you
it.
got that. Yeah, I think you gave that to me.
Yeah.
So they're talking about what kids eat in school, and they're showing these clips of these kids shoveling fucking pizza and shit into their mouth, and like French. They said Michelle Obama is apparently the biggest enemy of potato farmers in the country because she's been pushing these healthy school meal things.
Yeah.
And it's gonna essentially, if that type of legislation gets passed, it muscles things like French fries and tater tots and whatever out of school cafeterias, which, if you think about how many school cafeterias are carrying fries and tater tots, that's gonna deal a massive fucking blow to potato farmers.
Yeah.
And then they were also talking about how the government had the sauce on top of pizza listed as a vegetable, so that in school lunches, pizza is considered a vegetable. And you might be wondering what the fuck this has to do with Peyton Manning allegedly using HGH. And the thing is, the big argument that there's always been against steroids after, it's cheating, which we'll talk about in a second because it's fucking bullshit to call steroid use fucking cheating. But there's always been this we need to protect the children attitude towards professional athletes and performance-enhancing drugs of any kind. Anytime an athlete gets caught using it, they apologize, and in that apology, they always throw in a little piece about how they let down the fans and especially the kids.
Yeah. As
though they're setting this atrocious fucking example for the children of America, when I'm looking at school cafeterias where the kids are every day, where these workers have direct access to them, and their teachers are around and playing a role in this, and their parents are paying money for this, and they're telling them that fucking pizza is a vegetable, and they're loading them up with French fries to appease. I don't know if the farmers are unionized, but I'm sure they have some sort of lobby group. There appears to be a massive amount of hypocrisy therein, where there's this immediate threat to the actual kids is obesity. They're not active. Their phys ed programs are getting cut. Kids sit in front of fucking computer screens all day.
Yeah.
And they're being fed shit at school. And the government's sort of condoning all this. And then that same government will go and waste fuck tons of money because some baseball players injected stuff into their bodies so they could hit balls farther.
Yeah, no, it's a fucked up situation. I mean, going back to the lunch stuff, I mean, a lot of it is just pure fucking laziness. I mean, how many parents, would rather just hand their kid $5 and say, go buy some shit in the cafeteria rather than making them a sandwich? And yeah, it's the same thing. Everyone, food's so expensive at the supermarket. You can buy you can go to whatever supermarket, get like, free range chicken and beef that's quality for slightly more than the crap that they're putting in, like in McDonald's and shit.
Oh well, yeah. I think that the better argument to that is that food is not expensive. Food products are expensive.
Yeah, food products. Yeah.
The bullshit. The package of fucking Hot Pockets that you get out of the freezer aisle that every time I'm grocery shopping at fucking Walmart, I see some fucking tub cruising up on her like those fucking scooters to get more microwavable shit out of the freezer. That stuff costs more per serving than it would cost to, say, go to the outside aisles and grab a raw chicken or a package of...
Yeah.
For $10, you can get 5 pounds of chicken.
Yeah.
You can feed... Like, I go through that in a week because I'm a fucking meathead, but you can feed a lot of people
feed a lot of people with that, yeah.
For another $5, you can get a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
And for, like, a couple more dollars, you can get some vegetables or whatever.
Fuck, you can make your own French fries that are a hell of a lot healthier than some crap that you buy at a bag.
You can make a massive amount of those French fries. It's for the cost of a thing of olive oil and a bag of potatoes and some salt.
Yeah.
So this idea that it costs more to eat healthy, I think it takes more time to eat healthy.
Time, that's what it is. It's people are fucking lazy and don't want to take the time.
I've noticed you're wearing, before we continue, some very adorable...
These are my brother Jared's socks. I stole it from him.
Candy cane striped socks.
Yeah, they're more of like a pinkish...
I couldn't... I could not ignore that. Yeah. I had my first Zog pickup game this morning. Our jersey color is pink, so that's
with Zog.
It's this Hoboken.
Oh, the league.
League. I play football on Saturday mornings in the winter. They usually have. I didn't go today, but they have happy hours afterwards. You run around, play football, and then you get hammered afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's like $100 for the season. It's a good time. But there's almost like this. Like it seems like on the part now we tend to run in a circle where people are a little more conscious of themselves physically. Obviously, we've worked with supplement companies, we've played sports, so we hang out with meatheads who eat high protein, low carb, moderate fat diets. But there appears to be almost like a the general public embraces a helplessness when it comes to taking care of their own bodies.
Yeah. And then everyone wants to bitch about the rising cost of healthcare, and then blame that fat fucker that drinks 8 Cokes a day and then fucking clogs up the system with his bullshit treatment that he needs.
To be totally, I haven't been to, aside from a chiropractor to get fixed from some lifting injuries, I haven't been to a fucking doctor since 2011.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get sick.
I had to go to a doctor for something, and I think just for the office visit was $170. I'm like, I'm just not going to go to the doctor anymore.
If you take care of your body, you don't. Like,
you don't go.
I mean, when was the last time you got like legitimately like knocked out sick?
It's been like 3 or 4 years for me.
Like I cannot remember. Like,
yeah,
I'll get a spat of allergies at the beginning of spring when all that shit's falling off the trees, but otherwise, like,
same thing.
If you take care of your body, you should not become ill.
No.
At all. Like, if you're consuming the right food, like, the right foods, washing your fucking hands, and getting plenty of fresh air.
Like, and sleep.
Yes, sleep is massive.
And we both work in offices.
Yeah.
I mean, this time of the year, and, you know, you walk in, you just see people fucking hacking up a lung.
Sneezing,
disgusting.
hacking, sniveling.
And it's just like the same people are always the same ones that are sick, and then you probably look at their
the same ones
look at their lifestyle.
Who order Chinese food for lunch every day.
Mm-hmm. Don't exercise, you know, just eat shit and just abuse their bodies. And what do you expect?
And you're not allowed to criticize people for that either, which is, it's sort of this whole feel-good thing that the country is on now. It's wrong to criticize people. You can criticize people for certain things, but things like that, like there's a general irresponsibility that I think goes on when you say, I'm going to pump shit into my body, I'm not going to take care of myself, and then I'm going to rely on what is now essentially a public healthcare system because we're all paying into it to keep me healthy. So, like, you look at someone who, when I'm sitting there at work and they're having either burritos, Chinese food, or pizza on sort of a rotating basis as their meal every day, and you're kind of like, hey, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I mean, how do you keep working after? I would fucking pass out if I ate a burrito.
If I eat a burrito, I want to take a fucking nap.
I'd be done. I wouldn't be productive.
Like, far be it for me to shit on burritos. They were absolutely one of my favorite food. We went and saw that Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell movie.
I know what you're talking about.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, I can't remember the name now.
Yeah, it's like Daddy's Home or some shit like that. We stopped at. We went to Chipotle before and we bought burritos to bring into the theater.
Oh, nice.
We snuck them in the bag. Like, I love a good fucking like a good burrito. Like, I did a burrito and I brought in like a big tall boy like pounder can of beer. Like, a burrito and a beer is a great combination, but to have a burrito 2-3 times a week for fucking dinner.
Yeah.
And what the fuck? Like, and then you think about what they're eating the rest of the day. Like, there might be a donut in there.
Chips.
Like a fucking bagel.
Yeah, bagel every morning.
And, you know, there's, like, where we work, there's a Starbucks right downstairs. When people go out for Starbucks, they're not going out for a black coffee with, like, a shot of cream and some cinnamon. Like, they're loading up on, like, the whatever the fucking
culotta or some bullshit,
caramel semen macchiato,
something with like 80 grams of carbs in it.
It's fucking disgusting. But you're not allowed. But their bodies, of course, it's 2016 now, so their bodies we still have to refer to as beautiful. If you fucked up your body and turned it into a complete train wreck, we have to call you beautiful. But if you're, say, a Victoria's Secret model and you've gone to great lengths to look amazing, we have to sort of shun you and say that you have a problem and that you need to eat a meal. There's a massive double standard. The internet's like the best place, I think, to find it amongst the way people view. Like, it's almost like the ugly masses have risen up from the high school ranks. They're adults now, and they all have Twitter and Facebook accounts. And they're doing their best to shit on people who have ever taken care of themselves.
Yeah.
And you see that I've mentioned Congress spending time and money doing that fucking bullshit. those bullshit baseball hearings with McGuire and all those guys. Al Jazeera just released this report on Peyton Manning allegedly using human growth hormone to recover from fucking neck surgery. This PED in sports thing, I don't know why people fucking care.
It's the purists. It's the people who don't want to accept the fact that athletes everywhere in every sport are using performance-enhancing drugs in some way, shape, or form.
So that's
the truth.
No one who was an NFL fan before, like, 2000 and... When would you say the rise and the popularity of the NFL really occurred?
Maybe in the last 3 or 4 years.
It has to.
Yeah.
Because even when we were in like high school and college,
it wasn't like this.
Football was popular amongst alcoholics, gamblers, and guys who played football. Your occasional female fan would be some chick who was probably a cheerleader in high school, and her dad was a big football fan, so football was always on, and she kind of picked it up.
Yep.
But aside from that, it wasn't this like national insane fucking fan base, and this level of scrutiny applied to the game that we see now was non-existent. Like, to imagine Deflategate happening like
10 years ago,
15 years ago would have been
no one
ridiculous.
Would have said shit. Yeah,
no one would have given a fuck.
Yeah.
They would have just been like, did the gamblers get their money?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think the two things that probably had the most to do with it, I would say, are fantasy football and then the October, what's it called, Pink campaign.
Oh yeah, the breast cancer awareness.
That sucked in the female fan base big time.
It's. I can't ever remember. I mean, growing up, it was always baseball was the biggest sport.
Baseball, the national
and then you had the Michael Jordan era in basketball where like basketball was people were basketball crazy. But then it came for football and hockey. It came down to whether the team in your area was good or not. I mean, football has always been popular, but now it is like a fucking mega brand. It's enormous. Like none of the other sports come close at this point.
You've known me since like fucking middle school. Football's been an obsession for me since I was young, and you as well. We met playing fucking pee-wee football.
Yeah.
It seems now that the NFL has gone beyond being the game of like people don't watch it because they have an intrinsic love for football.
Not at all.
Now the NFL has become about it's the WWF.
It's the WWF of football. Yep.
It's a soap opera.
It's the storylines. Yeah.
The off the field storylines mean more than most people to what's going on during the game. Richard Sherman said this, or Marshawn Lynch isn't talking to the media.
Yeah.
Fuck gives a shit about that. The only thing that really matters in the sport of football is what goes on between the sidelines.
Yeah.
So it's very annoying, week in and week out. The internet makes it even worse. It's every fucking ass. Like Peggy who works 2 cubicles over and can't tell a fucking field goal from an interception has an opinion on the NFL now.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here, Peggy. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I want to go back to like 1994 when the NFL was. It was just compulsive gamblers drinking heavily, and a fucking blowout was a 27-10 game.
Yeah.
What we're looking at now, it's fucking ridiculous. Which is, I think, what like in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, the idea, Peyton Manning, some guy taking HGH to recover from an injury no one would have given a fuck. An international media outlet like Al Jazeera wouldn't have even gone near that story because no one would have clicked on it. They would have been like, a fucking meathead injected some shit into his body so he could do his job better. Like, I would do that shit too. Joe Rogan had Lance Armstrong on his podcast a couple weeks ago, and their discussion was pretty much about like the performance enhancing on the Tour de France, and like, if you don't do it, you're not competitive. It's like everyone's...
every champion.
Yeah.
Like I think they've had journalists cover it. It's like every champion is tainted in some way in cycling.
I think they said in cycling you have to go like 30 deep to find the
When
first
somebody's
guy who's not taking anything. Like, if that's the sport, then let it be the sport.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit?
Peyton Manning is going to go down as arguably, his playoff record, not so much, but arguably one of the best passers to ever play the game of football. Like, the guys, him and his brother's a fucking doofus, but they're both, they're both very good quarterbacks.
Great quarterbacks, yeah.
I'd say Peyton great, Eli very good.
Very good, yeah.
I think as a fan, you should be wanting Peyton to be able to take a little bit of HGH to prolong that career. If I can watch Peyton Manning do what he does for another 2-3 years because he took small amounts of human growth hormone for a small period of time to recover from a fucking neck injury. Like, what would the average person do to recover from a neck injury? I mean, they would go to any fucking length.
You go to any length. I mean, this is the same thing. I mean, wasn't it? I don't remember exactly the report. Wasn't this the same? Didn't Andy Pettit? I mean, I don't know if they specified whether it was anabolic steroids or HGH. But Andy Pettit went through the same thing.
I think Pettit was a growth hormone guy as well.
Read all the studies that human growth hormone administration helps to repair tendons and ligaments. Used it for a short period of time. Healed his injury. Came back and fucking was a winner. I mean, shouldn't the owners be invested in the idea that their guys can get healthy again?
I've suggested this before in conversation and a couple times on our Facebook page. I think there should actually be, within every professional sports league regulated doping.
Yeah, agreed. That would be very interesting.
And doping's a bad word to use because people hear the word doping and all of a sudden they get this image in their head of what's that like Lifetime movie with Ben Affleck?
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about.
He's fucking like juiced out of his mind. He's going fucking nuts, and like his mom confronts him with the box full of needles, and like he smacks it out of her hand. She's like, "You don't understand."
So many people are uneducated.
Like that's what someone does when they're on fucking meth. Like,
yeah.
Injecting a naturally occurring hormone into your body does not all of a sudden turn you into some kind of a fucking monster.
No.
And when your job every Sunday is to go out and dodge, 300-pound savages, I kind of get why you might want to take the HGH to recover from the fucking neck injury. Like, that makes sense. So, they were having issues with the NFL's collective bargaining agreement, determining a testing protocol for HGH. I don't even think they ever agreed on one. I don't think the league tests for growth hormone.
No, I don't think they test for it, no. It's too much fucking money.
So, the question I have to ask then is, why not have... The NFL's got fuck tons of money. It's what they're considered a non-profit, so they pay fuck all in taxes.
Yeah.
Why not have a team of doctors that the league supervises administer various performance enhancers to athletes? It's sort of the same way you would take care of a race car.
Yeah.
Outside of, race day, you would do everything you could to make sure that it was in prime operating shape. Why would you not then just say... So this way, anyone who gets caught testing outside of the whatever your set limit of performance enhancement was, would immediately be flagged, and you would know which doctor administered it.
Yes.
And then you could look back and say, hey, was this it could be an anomaly, maybe this guy's body's producing more tests naturally, and they gave him whatever. But now, now if all of a sudden if Dr. Smith has 7 fucking guys who are testing well outside of the allowed, usually you'll get like a test to epitest ratio.
Yeah. Yep.
Then that Dr. Smith may be getting some money to give guys extra stuff. We can peel back the onion and see what the fuck is going on, as opposed to, well, it's the off season, and Jamal Smith decides to go to a clinic down in the Dominican, and he's going to catch some sun, he's going to work out, and, oh, by the way, he knows a doctor down there who's going to give him the shit to aid his workouts, and by the time he shows up for camp in August, it's already out of his fucking system.
I think we'll get there eventually. It may be 15, 20 years, but if you look at right now the NBA and the NFL, they are evolving. the NBA, like Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, has pretty much openly said that they need to embrace the gambling community because it's present. It fucking fuels the sport. The NFL, I mean, besides fuckhead Goodell, when they realize that, they can prolong players' careers and boost, ratings and keep people more interested, they'll embrace it. It's the MLB, which is still, I mean, we can get, I know you being a Mets fan, we can get the whole Piazza thing and Griffey. You still have all these stupid fuck writers that are stuck in the 50s.
Guys. Yeah. Well, it's not even that they're stuck in the 50s. It's when they get interviewed by like the Daily News and New York Post because Piazza not getting in. They were all over that story every year that he would get snubbed.
Yeah.
They come back with this, well, because we don't know, we're not going to vote for him because maybe, and if we vote for him and it turns out that he did, then we're the bad guys too. And these are fucking guys, these fucking sports writers. And I see them every day because I will not say where I work, but I work in the vicinity of people who do sports media for a living, and there is an overwhelming amount of them who are, you can tell when you meet them, they got, cut from the fucking JV team. Yeah. Like they have this axe to grind against athletes, and they will look for anything to stir up shit surrounding an all-star's name. And with a guy like Piazza, where Piazza was always, even before he came to the Mets and put on a little more, he was always a husky guy.
Yeah.
No one ever looked like Barry Bonds. There was an obvious fucking
Bonds and McGuire.
There were like obvious transitions there where those guys ballooned up. But Piazza was just like, he was a fucking, he was the kid who was, barrel chested in 5th grade and smacking homers in fucking Little League. Every Little League team had one of those kids. No one thought anyone was on fucking juice in elementary school. And to keep him out because people that he played at the same time with got caught doing something that he never got caught doing. It seemed very childish. It was almost like there was a vendetta by the sports media against dudes who got all the pussy in high school. Yeah, is the best way to describe it. This is my moment. This is my fuck you moment.
Exactly.
Like, you've been in the spotlight. You've been in the spotlight since we were kids, and now I can hold this over you. Yeah. I can hold this over you, and I can say fuck you for being good at doing something with your body. While, by the way, the very person saying fuck you was probably unabashedly taking things like Adderall and Ritalin to meet writing deadlines or prepare for exams in college. Yep. There's no worry about performance enhancement there.
Nah, not at all.
It's incredibly disturbing and upsetting. I mean, and I guess we get it because we started with the supplements when we were pretty young. We were in fucking 8th, 9th grade taking creatine.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, creatine. I mean, remember when it was, it was the whole thing. It was with McGuire and the home runs, and it was like, oh, Dad, can I take creatine? And my dad was obviously uneducated, didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And he's like, oh, you can't take creatine? And then I would talk to someone else, like, creatine is natural.
A combination of 3 different amino acids, which occurs normally in the human body and can be acquired through things like chicken and beef. Now, the average human will produce naturally 3 grams of creatine a day and expend about 6 grams of creatine a day. Dietarily, we tend to consume an additional 3 grams of creatine from sources like chicken, beef, or fish. Yeah. If you're even eating that, which a lot of Americans aren't. So creatine monohydrate supplementation is a very cheap and effective way to boost muscular performance, cardiovascular performance, brain performance, all sorts of great things that this simple little amino acid compound does for your body. But because McGuire stuck some in his locker,
it was Andro.
It was creatine next to a bottle of Andro. Yeah. In his locker, so reporters would see it and assume that's what he'd take. It took a good decade for creatine to sort of bounce back.
Yeah.
just absolutely like to the point where when we were in 9th grade and we were taking it before conditioning.
Yeah, or whatever the running workouts.
We would do it like sneakily
Secretly.
we'd like take a shot like in the bathroom with a locked door, and then hide the shit back under your fucking mattress.
Yeah.
Like now I keep it out on my counter here, like it's no fucking thing.
Yeah, now it's like you could buy for like $5 in GNC.
Yeah, now it's you're an idiot if you're not taking fucking creatine. So when I think whenever we like flip out over something an athlete's doing, these guys they pay shit tons of money to the top guys for, trainers, nutritionists, everything. So they're getting the best advice. Maybe we should take pause and kind of, instead of immediately, you can't do that because the children will say it's a bad example for the children. Maybe we should be like, well, maybe they're setting a good example for the children. Like when I eventually pump out a couple Rugrats, I'm absolutely going to start slipping fucking creatine and shit into their food from a relatively young age.
Yeah.
Give them a little fucking boost. It's good for them. It's better than the shit that most people feed their fucking kids.
You wouldn't believe how many fucktards there are out there that fuck themselves up with steroids and whatever else, regardless of what athlete may or may not be using it. If a guy is out there and thinks he, wants to cut corners to build muscle and build his physique, he's gonna get his hands. The black market is extremely expensive. It's like anything. It's any drug you want, it's out there.
It's robust. And,
yeah.
I mean, you could do it any way you want. I mean, take a fucking vacation to Thailand for a few months, live on the cheap, and you can walk into a fucking pharmacy and get this shit.
Go to Mexico. Go wherever. You can find it. It's, I mean, especially with the internet nowadays, you want something. We're not even just talking performance-enhancing drugs. You want painkillers, whatever the fuck it is, you can find it out there. Someone is selling it, and you will get your hands on it.
Anyway, I mean, painkillers are the real laughable one because with a number of states still dragging their feet and opposing medical marijuana, and even our own fucking Christie is a fucking jackass on this marijuana issue. And I get that he was a prosecutor, but when there's a band of former prosecutors in the state of New Jersey right now who are screaming for marijuana legalization to occur because it'll free up funds and resources to fight the fucking heroin epidemic.
The heroin epidemic in the state.
It's reached epidemic fucking proportions in the tri-state area. It's fucking sickening, and that's all getting fueled because you can go to a doctor for whatever little ache and pain you have and get a fucking opioid prescribed to you.
Like it's nothing.
And people are getting fucking hooked on that.
No, both of us being residents in New Jersey, I think at this point, if you're from New Jersey, you know at least one person who's either been messed up on either heroin or prescription pills or has lost someone in their life. I mean, I know I can say it for myself. I mean, it's crazy.
I know several. It's like 6. One of the people I know who uses prescription pills recreationally on a regular basis is I'm not going to say what he does or what his education level is, but it's incredibly high. He holds a degree that is far higher than ours and makes public appearances and shit, but like casually he drinks fucking liquor and takes fucking oxy. It's fucking cool. Like I'd spoken to a chick that he dated, and she's like, yeah, this is fucking, it's ridiculous. Like, he's always fucking looped on this shit. But it's so easy to get your fucking hands on, and it's so fucking addictive.
Yep.
It's insane that we live in a state where this shit it's killing people, because what essentially happens is you get surgery or something, and you get, it's oxycodone or Oxycontin?
So Oxycontin is the pure form. Oxycodone is a mixture of hydrocodone and acetaminophen, which is a safer version. Which is they tend to give to people.
I think
it's not strong enough.
I remember hearing the one with the acetaminophen is only safer because people know that they can't take up to a certain amount of it, because if they take too much, the acetaminophen will kill them.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
Which is great
kill
because
your liver,
because by the way, you can get acetaminophen over the fucking counter too. So we'll sell the over the counter that will kill you, but we won't sell that. Marijuana, by the way, has never resulted in a death ever. We won't sell that to you. We'll put you in jail for that one. So what happens is people get hooked on these painkillers, and after a while, they either can't get them prescribed anymore, which means they have to turn to street heroin, which is much cheaper and easier to get your hands on because you go to Patterson, Newark, Camden, New York City. There are open air drug markets all over the place. You roll up and you get you get your hands on a vial full of heroin for 15 fucking bucks. But it's the product could be of dubious quality. It could be stepped on with anything. So you're having people die. They're not even shooting into their veins an amount that would be an overdose, but because it's cut with they don't know because it's fucking unregulated. Yeah. And some guy's just trying to mix more white powder in so he can stretch his product a little further. Yeah. And they wind up like the dealer inadvertently winds up killing his fucking customers, or you go to these fucking pill factories, and your insurance is essentially paying and fueling your drug habit. Yeah. What is essentially going on with this is the government-sanctioned poisoning of its people. Yes. But will still imprison people, and predominantly young black and Hispanic men, for marijuana-related crimes. Selling and being caught. There is a frightening hypocrisy here. And it's not like, look, drug dealers are some business-savvy motherfuckers. So, if we decriminalized or legalized this shit, you could take all these kids who are doing jail time for selling weed, or they're building up criminal records for possession with intent, and they could be doing booming fucking business in a capitalist economy. Yeah. There is zero logic behind the continued criminalization of marijuana, and I think a few other drugs too should be coming off of the criminal rolls. Not saying they should be out and out legalized, but at least like prescription use. I think MDMA, psilocybin, LSD, all of those, that they're legitimate, if not physical medical uses for, at least psychiatric uses. Psychiatric uses, yeah. They're saying that MDMA therapy for PTSD sufferers who were not respondent to other forms of therapy, they're saying MDMA has something like a 90% turnaround rate in a study they did over in Europe. Like, with the amount of veterans we have coming back who are suffering from PTSD, rape survivors, anyone who's gone through something horrible, if you could plug them into a program where they were getting clinically administered MDMA in a psychiatrist's office, we could be solving a lot of fucking mental health issues, especially when every time that one of these fucking wackadoos goes up and shoots up a fucking elementary school cafeteria, we always turn to this guy have a mental health problem. We do a better job of addressing some of these issues. We could probably be avoiding some of these big time fucking concerns, like horny fucking white guys who can't get any pussy mowing down middle schools. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it always comes back to what these guys were on. We're all prescribed some crazy combination of either antidepressants or antipsychotics.
It's those. Yeah, those two are the big ones. I gotta take a piss, and then Bill Maher actually made a nice point about that. All right. Feel free to just talk to yourself. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, you need another beer?
Yes, please.
What's happening, Holmes?
Hanging in there, off the city.
Are you growing the beard back out?
I don't know. I'm just bored, so I shaved a little bit.
I think I'm gonna do I do a winter beard now. I think this is gonna go probably until March.
I forget I usually do a summer beard and then shave it in the winter because I'm a moron.
That's usually the opposite.
Yeah, usually I'm like, I should probably shave it now. Might be in the city for a while, let me know.
Right on, dude. Yeah, I'm going and we're gonna be downtown probably at like 6:30. I got a thing for a coworker, and then I have no idea after that. So if you get into anything interesting, shoot me a text.
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers, boys.
Later, brother. So I forget which shooting it was, and he might have been talking about a number of shootings, because every time we have one of these mass shooting incidents, we break into is it the gun control or is it the mental health thing?
Yeah.
Debate in this country, and it's probably a little of both. I think people should be able to own firearms. Absolutely, it's something we don't really comprehend. I think because we live in such a dense area where the idea of someone with a gun in our area can be it's in our area. It's normally criminals who possess firearms. Because New Jersey and New York have such ridiculously restrictive concealed carry laws. So for Northeasterners and people from more urban liberal areas, the idea of someone just strutting around with a gun sounds sort of nuts. But if you live in a rural area, the idea of it's going to take 20 minutes for the fucking cops to even get here. Once I call 911, I should be able to have this, and I hunt on my own land. And they're owning a firearm is not an asinine thing. People should be able to do that, but we should intelligently apply a set of filters similar to that which we apply to driving a car to get your hands on a fucking gun. Tests and interviews and written tests, and you have to go out to the range and demonstrate safety. And all the while this is going on, there should be a series of background checks and psych evals and just all sorts of shit to make sure we're allowing the citizenry to be armed, but making sure that weapons don't get into the hands of the wrong people. And there's always going to be a market for illegal firearms. We're not going to stop that. Anytime you make something illegal, you make it easier for criminals to make money. That's it. But the other end of that argument is always that there's this mental health crisis in America that's not being addressed. But if you break down what we call, either mass shootings or these, I guess, unexpected shootings, because it's not a fortunate thing to say, but if 5 people get shot at a house party in Brownsville, Brooklyn, I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. When a bunch of people are gunned down at a community college in Oregon, well, it's become a sad fact of life. That's still a very shocking and frightening thing, because none of us will ever be at a house party in Brownsville. But we can all imagine scenarios in which someone we know, ourselves, or someone we care about is at the community college or the mall or the movie theater when the shooting happens. That can happen so once it becomes a thing that everyone has to be concerned by, it becomes everyone's problem. Not to say that the shootings in urban areas are problematic as well, but we tend not to focus on them because they don't directly affect the mainstream. Nope. But when you look at the people who are perpetrating these, we'll use the blanket term mass shooting, I guess, it seems to be predominantly white males within the late teens through, I guess, up through their 40s or 50s age range. Anywhere in there where you could be considered a sexually frustrated white male, it seems, is always at the fucking bottom of it. Yeah. So, Bill Maher, right before they went on their holiday break, mentioned, and I thought this was a novel approach to solving this problem, legalizing prostitution.
I've said this time and time again. I don't understand what the fuck we're doing with this. don't understand it at all. It's still one of those archaic things that America's just...
It's the world's oldest profession.
It's the world's oldest profession, and in the United States being the bastion of freedom and capitalism is still stuck in the fucking dark ages in regards to this.
Because if you travel outside the U.S., in Thailand, prostitution isn't legal, but you can get away with some motherfucking prostitution in Thailand real easy. Philippines, all over.
Like 60% of the economy in Thailand is based off prostitution.
Yeah, all over Asia, the same fucking thing. I think the only state in the U.S. right now that's getting it right is Nevada.
Only certain counties in Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane, and you look at Lamar Odom, in any other circumstances, if he had, say, passed out while making love to Khloe Kardashian, and had to be taken, people would feel bad for him. Oh, what a horrible, this he was with his woman, and this happened. This is terrible. But because he passes out in a brothel was he in fucking Reno or outside Vegas?
He was at the Bunny Ranch.
He's looked at as he got what was coming to him because he was partying with hookers. And first of all, I've actually interacted with some of the chicks from, I don't know if it was the Bunny Ranch or one of the other brothels out there, on Twitter, just trading jokes and shit, fucking around. They're incredibly friendly, gregarious people.
Yeah,
and
they're all making good money.
Sort of this idea that first of all, Mar saying we'd cut down on mass shootings because it's sexually frustrated white guys who are doing this shit, and nobody who is getting laid on a regular basis is going to go out to do this because then they're not going to be able to get their next nut because they're either going to be suicided or in jail, which makes perfect fucking sense.
Yeah.
But even more ridiculous is this idea that we're protecting women by making prostitution illegal.
The biggest farce there is.
What we're doing by making prostitution illegal is denying women the right to make that choice about what to do with their bodies, and instead of having a regulated industry,
push it underground.
Where say, oh well, the New Jersey Board of Health is going to be in to check out the brothel, and conditions better be fucking perfect. The girls better, if the girls report a single fucking problem to these guys, you guys can get shut down.
Yeah.
And there's security guards for the girls to make sure they don't get abused or beaten up by a John or whatever. None of these things can exist because we've made it illegal. So we've taken away our ability to regulate and provide a safe working environment for these women and have in fact turned them into criminals.
Turn them into criminals, yes. And usually managed by other criminals who are usually have their hands in drugs or use drugs to control them most of the time,
It's
crazy.
This asinine cat and mouse game that we play. The U.S. government is... fucking criminal organizations must love the U.S. government. The U.S. government is, I would imagine to criminal organizations, is like the naive parents who go out of town every weekend and leave their 17-year-old son at home with the fucking keys to the Beamer
and a credit card.
Yeah. We are letting so much stupid shit happen.
Yeah.
Under the guise of law and order, they're talking about now that the new hot button that's kind of rising is the human trafficking thing, and if you go to strip clubs or if you go to a brothel, you're not only are you doing something that's immoral, but you're supporting human trafficking, and it is terrible, terrible, terrible. Well, if brothels were regulated and the girls had to get tested and their job application was on file and they were paying taxes, we wouldn't have these issues with human fucking trafficking.
You go to most strip clubs nowadays, and a majority of them are Russian and Ukrainian immigrants that are all handlers.
Yeah.
So if you're in North Jersey, you go to a strip club, 9 times out of 10, the chick is going to be Ukrainian or Russian, and she lives in Queens, and she's bussed here every day, and so you make prostitution legal. That chick is
season
working for...
2, basically season 2 of The Wire.
Yeah.
If you've seen it. Yeah, it's fucking season 2 of The Wire. They import women for the purpose of getting fucking naked.
All these rub and tugs. It's all Korean chicks that are brought in by the Chinese mafia or the Korean mafia, whatever. This is what promotes it. It's all put in the dark. This is, you legalize the shit, half these shithole fucking strip clubs go out of business. Dudes don't go to them anymore. Yeah. They go, they pay, they get fucked, they leave.
Fuck. Look, if a guy wants to go out and find a Korean chick to jerk him off for a couple bucks, he's gonna find that shit in the city.
Yeah.
Like, you're not... If you go into New York City with a lot of cash and say to yourself, I want a massage and a fucking hand job, you knock on enough doors, eventually you're getting a massage and a fucking hand job. So the state is losing out big time by wasting money on enforcement, and it's losing out on fucking tax dollars.
Yeah.
And we're turning fucking citizens into criminals, and we're funding the organizations that are running all of the other shit, the illegal guns, the illegal gambling, the drugs, whatever the fuck that the state's trying to crack down on. So we're really doing ourselves no favors and are wasting fuck tons of taxpayer dollars in what essentially all of this seems like is chasing our own tails.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just like the marijuana thing. It's the same exact situation. It's the same exact situation.
The weed thing is frightening because I'm a daily fucking pot smoker. I have no problem admitting that. I think it's fantastic. We're drinking beers right now, but when we consume alcohol, we're consuming a government-sanctioned neurotoxin. It's terrible for your body. Now, obviously, Crystal Pale Ale probably ain't too bad for you because it's, probably brewed with some decent ingredients and shit, but people who are drinking, massive amounts of liquor on a daily basis are essentially poisoning themselves in a government-sanctioned fashion. But marijuana, which has really no ill health effects, especially if you can vaporize it or consume it edibly, the government has said it's a crime to possess or, it's just baffling that that's the fucking case.
Yeah, it's literally, it's mind-blowing. Fucking mind-blowing.
And the reason that I've always heard or read early on, it was because was it William Randolph Hearst?
Yeah.
Wanted to sell newspapers, so he made it seem as though marijuana was the next big threat. And
black guys were smoking marijuana and raping white women.
Yeah, blacks and Mexicans down in Georgia, I think Georgia was the specific state where it was going on. Like Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama were smoking pot and raping white women. Christ. Could you imagine if the New York Times ran that as a front page story? The Black Lives Matter movement would be up in fucking arms over it. The feminists would probably be saying it's true just because they will say anything to make it appear as though there's some sort of rape culture in the U.S., which is a whole nother fucking thing that we'll discuss.
Yeah.
But it became... The criminalization of marijuana became a means for the government to control the people. Anytime you make something illegal, anytime you say you can't do this, it's a way for the government to control the people.
Exactly.
Because by making something legal, you put free will in the hands of the people, and you can't tell them what to do with a product. And that frightens anyone who's in a position of power, and it also frightens people who embrace the status quo. The people who want to live in the white picket-fenced house with 3 kids and a fucking Labrador. That scares the fuck out of them, too.
Yeah.
But, as that's sort of the 1950s Mayberry family, they bought into, big time, the idea that, if you smoke this plant, you're going to want to rape a white woman. And it's a quick, easy way to make an arrest on someone. And so anytime you want to throw a black or Hispanic teenager in jail for the night, you just bust him with a bag of pot. Then you can fingerprint him, you can search him, and maybe he's got a weapon that was tied to a crime, whatever. Then, through the 60s and 70s, you see the hippie movement coming along. And, there's no better way to arrest the leaders of these dirty fucking white kids who are protesting the war in Vietnam than by making that plant that they all seem to love smoking completely illegal.
Yeah.
And we were sort of, I think, do they still do the DARE program in schools?
That's a government-sponsored thing.
Our mothers are both teachers. I feel like we should know.
I would bet heavily that DARE still exists. Yeah.
I mean, that program was fucking... The guy who won the Glen Rock fucking DARE essay contest in, I think, like the class a year or two above Joey, or maybe below, whatever fucking... I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get him in trouble if anyone fucking hears this. But he's like one of the biggest fucking potheads I know. I think he got stoned when he wrote the fucking essay.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've bought and smoked weed with this individual, and he won a fucking DARE essay contest.
But I thought marijuana was a gateway drug. That's what's been drilled in our heads.
It is, yes. If you smoke a little pot,
you're gonna start doing cocaine and heroin.
The absolute next step is you're gonna be sucking some guy off behind a convenience store, so you have enough money to get that next hit of meth.
Yeah,
and that's really a frightening jump. It's not that alcohol is the biggest gateway drug, by the way. I hadn't touched a cigarette until I was at a bar in college drinking alcohol, and I walked past someone who had one. There was a friend of mine. We were talking, and he gave me one as he was going to go light his next one. And I haven't smoked a cigarette in a while, but alcohol was the gateway to the cigarettes. Pot was never a gateway to anything. Pot was a completely different diversion.
Pot was a gateway to
itself.
eating a burrito. That's about it. Yeah.
Pot was a gateway to not getting off the fucking couch for 3 hours, but it's certainly not a gateway drug. I think anytime you said people who smoke pot are more likely to do other drugs, it's simply that people who are typical, pot smokers will be more of a mind that they can use another substance and they want to see what it's like. But it has nothing to do with the pot telling you to do that. It's just, I like to use different products, and I think as a grown adult making intelligent choices about whatever substance you put in your... You know what? If you want to have like a big night once in a while with your friends, you get like a hotel room down Atlantic City, once, twice a year, and a bag of Coke or some Molly or something like that. As long as you're getting from a reliable source who's not going to sell you some fucking poison, and you're using it reasonably responsibly, and it's not an everyday addiction thing, why do we fucking care if people are doing that? We should be saying instead, as a free society, we want you to have this product in the safest, most responsible manner possible.
Yes. And if you're going to fuck up your life, you're going to fuck up your life one way or the other.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's weed, alcohol, hard drugs. If you are of the mindset that you can't live your life without a crutch, the only thing that can help you is therapy and, I don't know, maybe a gun to the head.
The states in the New York area actually have taken a big step. They're making Narcan is going to be available over the counter now in a lot of places. It's the if you OD on heroin, you give someone a shit. It's like an adrenaline shot.
They give them all the cops now.
Yeah,
for OD.
We should be doing things like that instead of criminalizing drug users. We should be saying, if people are going to use this, we accept human beings. We possess human sentience. We want to see what different shit feels like. Some people have problems they want to escape, and for them, a good way. It may not be the most constructive way, but drugs are a way that people ditch their problems, and it gives them perspective. And for some people, it enriches lives. For some people, it destroys their lives. We should be criminalizing people for this. We should be providing a safe environment so that when things do go wrong with the product, we can help you.
Yeah.
As opposed to something went wrong, and now everyone around you is panicking because they don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
So they don't do a fucking thing until it's too late.
Yep. Yeah, until it's too late, until you're on some fucking intervention show.
Yeah, intervention show is for some people the good outcome.
Yeah, that is the good outcome for
slab
some people.
in the morgue is the other outcome for some people.
Well, we'll spend $3 billion on a drug war instead.
Yeah. Think of all that fucking money. I mean, we're funding. By doing that, we're supporting criminal organizations.
Yes.
We're keeping them in existence. simple supply and demand. By making something illegal, we create a black market, and that's the only place you can get it. So the criminals are dictating. They're dictating price. They're dictating the flow of product.
The quality of product. Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Which the U.S. government wants to regulate everything. I mean, there's nothing. The U.S. government regulates until it is blue in the fucking face, and they haven't stepped in and said, you know what? Maybe if we regulated drugs, we'd be able to, Portugal and some of those northern Europe. Some of if you go look up north like that around it's like Norway, Sweden, those places have very liberal drug policies where they're decriminalizing drugs and they're allowing people, especially if you're terminally ill. Apparently, things like mushrooms and LSD can do a great deal in easing end of life pain. It's insane.
That's why you have people in this country that are moving to Oregon.
Yeah. They're right to die laws.
Right to die laws. Whereas other states, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to suffer through this debilitating illness until you die in a hospital.
Because that's what God would want.
That's what
God would want. Yeah. It's fucking frightening. This idea in general that we should be telling adults what to do with their own bodies, it's a very disturbing thing. And it's anti-liberal for sure.
It is anti-liberal, yeah.
It's anti-liberal for sure. It's I think both sides of the political sphere in this country should be behind loosening drug laws, because on the conservatives all claim to be about limited government and cutting spending. Well, there's no better way to cut spending than to cut some of the money we're blowing on this fucking drug war. And true conservatives do not embrace government regulation of fucking anything. Yeah. So they should be the ones leading the charge to decriminalize shit, because they should not want the government involved. And then on the liberal end, where they're all about the freedom to choose what to do with your body, well, then that should also apply to what you put into your body. So it's vexing that the only ones who sort of support these decriminalization policies tend to be people who fancy themselves like moderates,
libertarians,
or on the other side, I was going to say libertarians who are so far out there that it's fucking weird.
It is bizarre, and none of it makes sense from political ideology. But
Americans, and that's the other thing, is that the people who oppose these policies, I think they tend to tie themselves to party ideologies.
Yeah.
Parties have to be funded by someone, and there's always a group that stands to benefit from, on the right, a lot of that money is coming from fucking police unions, prison guard unions. Yeah. These places don't
pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. These places don't stay in business.
Yeah.
If currently illegal drugs are decriminalized, because if you're not rounding young black kids up off the street and shipping them off to fucking jail for selling drugs, you really don't have much to send them off to jail for, because if drugs become decriminalized, then a lot of inner city violence problems go away, because all of a sudden everyone's working a legitimate job.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now we can't control a massive sector of the population. Ugh, horrible. As I stare at the empty bowl on the table that I'll be firing up later.
It's a crazy world we live in. And hopefully in our lifetimes we see some changes. I mean, it looks like, you look at states of Colorado and Washington who have taken that step, and, hopefully by the time we're in our 40s, most of the 50 states have accepted it. I mean,
I think this is from talking to a friend of mine who helps write legislation for the Democratic legislature in New Jersey. And, they've been pretty public about it. We're going to be one of the next states on the marijuana legalization bandwagon. Democrats in New Jersey's state legislature have already started holding hearings on how decriminalization and legalization would work, because they're essentially waiting for Christie to leave office.
They're waiting for him to leave office, yeah.
New Jersey is a state so ripe for decriminalization, or legalization too, because we tend to err on the fiscally conservative side.
Yeah.
We need money
We're
badly.
fucking broke, yeah.
And we're socially liberal. This, to the even the most casual political observer, would appear to be the perfect storm of marijuana legalization. Like, why would you not? Like, that suits so many fucking needs. I mean, and you throw in the fact that we're fighting this heroin problem, all of a sudden enforcement money is freed up, and people are getting marijuana for their ailments instead of oxy, so that there's less people getting hooked, and for the people who are dealing with opioid addictions, you can use that money to set up clinics and treatment. Life with legal marijuana seems like it would be a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. It does.
And fuck, I mean, with a struggling Atlantic City, it seems illogical to not say, if we built a brothel or two.
Yeah, you want to boost tourism? Give people a reason to come to Atlantic City again, other than gambling.
Sex tourism is indeed a form of tourism.
Sex tourism would be massive.
Yeah, I mean, think with legal marijuana and legalized prostitution in New Jersey. I bet you would be able to resurrect entire communities.
Yeah, yeah.
Camden, AC, Newark, Patterson, make them havens for marijuana and hookers.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to get high and fuck?
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with you. Like, honestly speaking, if you can't enjoy the experience of smoking weed and having sex within a brief succession of each other, usually bracketed by weed, sex, weed, you are missing out on probably one of life's greatest pleasures ever. Mm-hmm. Like, your body will never feel better than after you have busted a nut after having sex while getting high. Like, you're like in a state of pure fucking bliss.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've even come across that has surpassed that has been having sex on MDMA. But there was weed involved in that too, and that was like an insanely delightful encounter. Like, these are things that people enjoy. Like, we're only on this fucking planet for what? 80 years at
and
best.
how many of them are you really enjoying life?
Yeah,
Come on, give me a fucking break.
So, like, up until 20, you kind of have to do whatever your fucking parents tell you, and then from like the last 10 or so, you're probably a little. So you're looking at like a cool 5 decades of being able to get the most out of this rental car that we call the human body.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to do these things that are pleasurable? And there are, I will say this as we segue, there are pleasure seekers out there among us.
Oh, there are many.
And I believe you were doing a little internet research.
Yeah, so
did you?
We've done a few of the casual counters on.
You found a few online pleasure seekers.
Yeah, I mean, these really, really vary, but I've got 3 of these that I thought were very interesting across the broad spectrum of the United States. And let's get our gay one out of the way first. So male on male. So this one's from Louisville.
Is he wearing women's underwear?
Yeah, it's a dude wearing what are those, pantyhose?
He's got thigh highs and a
thong on.
Jesus Christ!
He describes himself as thin and 5'7". So he's definitely a twink.
Yeah, big time. I was going to say big time twink.
So he says, "I am hosting. Come in, pump and dump. Door unlocked, ass up. No chit chat needed. Please send a pic with age and stats."
How old is this?
Oh, he's wearing high heels too. Sorry.
Well, because it high heels accentuate the butt cheeks, and I guess if the door is unlatched and you're coming in for a pump and dump, you want those cheeks to be nicely presented. So he's a savvy marketer.
Yeah, he's published that his door is unlocked and his asshole will be open and ready for someone
Christ.
possibly with HIV to come in and fuck him in the ass.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is just
hard.
And for anyone who knows, been on Craigslist, 95% of this shit is just dudes looking for other dudes.
Well, I was gonna say, I was telling you before when we were doing like the pre-show. When I'm bored, I'll cruise. There's a women for women casual encounters where if you're one of those, like, I know there's it's a niche following. If you're like a guy who's into more amateurish porn, if you want to see like some nice amateurish, tits and butt cheeks, you can check it for any city out there. You can check the women for women casual encounters on Craigslist. They all write dirty ass shit, and then they'll flash a picture of their tits. So if you got a few minutes to kill, like you're waiting for a train or something like that, it's not bad internet fodder.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought so there's an ad like this where this guy's did he say how old he is?
28.
28. So let's say his father's in his 50s or 60s. Is it possible? I mean, certainly possible. But could you imagine if, say, his father is like a closeted homo who fucks Craigslist guys on the down low?
I don't even want to get into it.
And this kid puts this up, and he's like waiting in his apartment, and he's like, Roy, 56 is coming over in a little bit. Like, yeah, like I could take an older dude, and like he's just fucking waiting, bent over, and the door opens, and like a fucking Papa Bear walks in.
One of my friends was telling me a story. This friend of his works in a call center, and he's in sort of a supervisor role. And he noticed one of the guys working under him was making an outbound call, which is, if you're working at a call center, typically you're accepting calls. Yeah. They had like a 15, 20-minute call outbound. So these guys have the ability to listen to everything they're talking about. So the conversation starts with him, obviously talking to his girlfriend. And then, he asks the girlfriend, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm on the toilet taking a shit. Now, typically, you would think that a guy would be like, what, like, that's fucking gross. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would you call me, or why would you tell me to call you when you're taking a shit? You couldn't wait until after this? No, this guy starts getting to how...
might be Kim coming over.
Okay.
Keep going.
So this guy gets into how this actually turns him on, and how he wishes he was in the bathroom with her and fingering her while she was taking a shit. So that just, for some reason, this dude still has a job, but it's just a little glimpse into just how fucked up some people really, really are.
UPS.
Oh, UPS. Very nice. But yeah, so just to recap for you while you're out. So the guy gets into it and starts talking to the girl on his work phone about how he wishes he was in the bathroom with her, fingering her while she shit.
Jesus.
So
how do you even pull that off?
I don't know. And the crazy thing is, the dude
you have to
still
take
has
a knee
job
next to the commode and just kind of...
There's got to be... Like I said, there's so many fetishes out there, and I understand it. There's... Like, I was telling someone, like, now, like, remember, like, a few years ago, like, anal was, like, a fetish.
Big
like,
deal.
you're like, oh, like, oh, anal. Anal
I pulled it off in high school, by the way.
Yeah. Anal has become, like, the fucking softcore porn now. Because it's like... It's like, oh, anal? That's fucking nothing. I'm looking for, like, fucking gaping fisting of an asshole porn.
Yeah, it's now.
You know?
If a girl is only down to do butt stuff, she's a fucking prude.
Yeah, she's a prude. She isn't taking the ass. Oh, I mean, I can understand there is a lot of crazy shit out there, but if you're into shit or being around people when they shit, you gotta go get therapy. There's something fucking wrong.
Something had to have gone wrong.
Something went wrong in your development, in your childhood.
Yeah. If you're into getting, I will tell a story for the savages. When I was a kid, like I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old at the time. My dad took me to the circus. You know how the elephants walk in like a circle and they shit all over the place?
Yeah.
Like I thought that was the funniest fucking thing in the world. So we get home and like I'm down in the basement, like where all my toys are, and my dad was doing something on his work computer.
Yeah.
And apparently, I was walking in a circle and on the floor, and I dropped my pants and took a shit on the floor, and I yelled, "Look, Dad, I'm the elephant!" and he just turned around to see his 5-year-old son taking a shit in the middle of the basement floor.
Holy crap!
That's probably why they don't like me too much back at Mom and Dad's house.
One of the many reasons.
What do you got for? What do you got? 3 lined up there?
Yeah, so we'll go to women for male.
Number 2.
This one is in Delco, outside of Philadelphia. It's Black BBW looking for FWB. Friends with Benefits. Thank you. 35 years old. Hi, guys. Yes, I'm real, and yes, I'm looking to meet soon. I'm here looking for some male attention. I work 2 jobs, so not a lot of time to get out and meet people, and no time to play games.
Dad, do me a favor and talk a little bit towards the microphone.
I need this to stay discreet. I would like something ongoing with a good-looking guy. I'm a big, thick girl, so you need to be hung to handle me. I'm 5'7" and weigh...
Count us out.
5'7" and weigh 230 pounds. I like to have fun, and I'm cool and drama and drug-free. You must be disease-free as well. And there's some other bullshit.
She included a picture?
Yeah, it's just like the bottom of her body.
That's not even a good picture.
Yeah,
that's not enticing anymore.
I don't really. After looking back at this ad, I thought this was going to be a little more entertaining. This one was kind of a letdown. So pretty much, this is a fat black
fat chick looking for some dick.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on from that one.
Well, I will before we move on. We can, even when we're done with the third one, we can pull a couple up if we feel like it. I think fat chicks sell themselves short on their ability to get laid at a bar. What they need to do is, because most fat chicks at least have a decent set of tits, or can make it look like they do.
Make it look like they do, yeah.
I was watching this Big Women, Big Love on like TLC or Lifetime or some shit, and the one Hispanic chick from Clifton had it nailed. She would double up on the Spanx and push her tits way up, so that out at the bar, she looked like one of those thick but smooth-bodied chicks who looks acceptable to bang, and then you don't find out that it's all flubber until you get her home.
Yeah.
And at that point, no one knows that you're fucking her but you and her, so you fucking may as well.
Yeah.
At a minimum, you know you're going to get a fucking good BJ out of it. And most of the time, thicker girls, while fucking... It's not the prettiest looking thing, but those chicks will do whatever the fuck. Like, there's pure deviance because they're only getting to unleash the beast every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't disagree with that.
Gary's been rendered speechless.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Yeah. I don't want to hear about you fucking humping away at a fat chick. You sound like Tom Hursthouse.
Wow.
Trophy stealing cocksucker.
All right, then let's get into the last one. This one's a good one. I mean, on the surface, it's, you think about it after I read through it and be like, damn, this is hot. But then you really think about it and be like, this is fucked. All right, so mother. Where was this again? I don't know. Oh, it's Detroit. Detroit mother looking for daughter/daughters for slumber party. 50-year-old married white woman looking for young ladies that would like to have sleepover. Husband and kids out of town this week. We can start in our flannel PJs and end up naked in my king-size bed that will hold all 4 of us. Mommy wants to have old-fashioned girls sleepover. Please be under 30 years old. This would be perfect for some college girls home for the holidays. So if this sounds fun to you, send your age, what kind of experience you have had with women before, and some pictures and what city you live in.
That's some titillating shit.
That is yeah. So this is like the perfect scenario of like mother.
Yeah, that's like every fucking video that I jerk off to ever.
There's some part of you that goes like, this person probably has fucking ish. Like, does this woman have like young daughters? Like.
Well, do you think it's? I know, like she says, she puts mommy in the thing, but do you think that it's? Do you think the fetish that she's going after is more? I'm the mother hosting a sleepover for my daughters, and like a couple of her friends like sneak up to join me in the room, and it's like this discreet down low thing, or do you think it's I'm the mother and I'm fucking my daughters?
It's more. She's very, very in capital letters. Daughters.
Would in the most theoretical sense, and if you don't want to answer this, I understand, but. Say you're at a bar in Vegas, and say you're a single man.
Yes.
At a bar in Vegas, and a mother-daughter combo, or you're hanging out, joking with them, drinking with them, and they're like, hey, like, you want to come up to the room, do a couple lines, have a good time, and you're, let's say in this fantasy universe, you're protected from any sort of Chinese organ thieves, anything like that. Like, that this is going to lead to a three-way with a milfish woman and, like, her 27-year-old daughter. Do you object, or do you get down?
Actual, like, not like stepmother and daughter, but like we're actually
biologically
related.
Straight up mother.
There's something fucked up with that.
I'm not telling you to date one of them. I'm just telling you to fuck them.
I think it's just.
Really?
I think there's something. If you're biologically related with someone, and like the mother and daughter are getting down with each other, or they're just focusing on the dude. That's the other question.
I think what you would be looking at is some sort of free for all scenario where you as a big, powerful guy, could probably dictate a lot of the action. But there is the possibility that, the daughter will wind up face down in between her mother's legs.
Once in a lifetime?
Yeah.
You do it. But,
you have to fucking do it. I'm glad you said yes.
It's one of those things like I fapped, and when I cleaned up, I really regretted
it.
Yeah,
just that.
Shame.
I would be walking into the fucking the breakfast buffet the next morning to meet my buddies, like giving handshakes and signing fucking audio. Taking down a mother-daughter combo would be legendary.
That's like I said, that's once in a lifetime. So. There's definitely something fucking wrong with them, but...
Yeah, wrong with them, not wrong with you.
With you,
There's been something wrong with a lot of girls that I've slept with. There's nothing wrong with me.
And I don't really get that whole, like... That's a big theme nowadays, is this mother... And a lot of the time they put, like, stepmother and daughter.
Yeah, I think that...
Yeah, they really don't want to cross the line.
Eases a lot of shit for a lot of people,
like, they're related, they live under the same roof, but they're not biologically... linked, so
I don't give a shit. I think the incestuous stuff is problematic when it becomes like
brother and
male.
sister.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, obviously that one. But like, if two fucking hot twin sisters like were to go at it, like I wouldn't look away.
Well, isn't it twin sisters? Like, isn't it just like having sex with yourself?
Yeah, it's just like it's like jerking off to virtual reality porn. It's like jerking off in the mirror.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you would do that, but
no.
For chicks, that's kind of like
up,
a cool thing. For a chick, that'd be a cool thing.
Yeah, this.
But I think I think the incestuous stuff becomes problematic when penetration occurs of any cavity. So when there's a dick involved, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So lesbians of any ilk can get together. I don't care if they share. I don't care if lesbians share DNA. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
you see,
doesn't bother me none.
Anything mainstream nowadays of as I say, in the light in regards to porn, like from the U.S., and it deals with the mom-daughter or mom-son dynamic, is always a step parent. Yeah. Then you go to like the Russian shit where they're like straight up incest crap.
I have such a fucking problem. Yeah. I can't watch any porn that features non-English speaking.
Yeah, Russian actors are the worst. They're awful. And the production quality is pure shit too.
There's nothing that that fucking text message distracted. just nothing that throws me off my masturbatory game, sort of, when you're like cruising the, they like the screenshot of the video that you're going to watch, and you click on it, think, oh, these chicks are really hot, like, can't wait to watch this, and then it opens up, and they have, like, Eastern European voices, they're not speaking English. Like, one, I can't follow the fucking plot line, and two, the dialect, I don't know, the language itself has a very odd, boner-killing sound to it. Like, it's always like, it's always like, it's like the Dutch, I don't know if it's Dutch or Eastern European, it's like, oh yes, die Verschlugen.
Well, there's a lot of German porn out there, yeah.
Yeah, Schleit an,
Schleizer. Yeah.
Verschlugen.
Yeah.
Verschlugen.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I can't fucking jerk. I know they're saying the exact same thing that porn stars are saying in English when I jerk off to a regular video on X videos or whatever, but I just can't get over that. Call me a fucking xenophobe, but I can't get over it.
It's the same thing with the Portuguese with Brazilians too. It's just it's just odd.
And Brazilians are good looking too.
Yeah. Oh, the Brazilians
huge
are
butts.
Yeah. As long as they don't have a dick. So
yeah, you get tranny surprised.
Tranny surprised.
Oh, you got any more on there?
I could
pull up a random one.
Yeah,
pull up one with a pic so we can get a good look at like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, let me. So let's pick. Let's find a rando city. Let's just stay in North Jersey since we're here. Figure we can relate better to it. What do you look at? You want women for male? You want male for woman? Male for?
I want to see what men for women are advertising. I want to see what they think is enticing to the women of Craigslist.
Christ. You deserve a cuddle buddy? No.
I think we absolutely should open that one.
No pick.
Open it up, though. If it's a guy saying you deserve a cuddle buddy, he's probably a big-time I've been reading the Reddit White Knight forum.
Don't even get me started.
If that fucking page is a gold mine. We'll do a show on that, but White Knightery...
this is the goddamn ultimate White Knight.
Do we want to briefly just give anyone who's listening a rundown on what a White Knight is, because it's probably, unless you and I are both big interneters, if you're not deep into internet shit, you might not know what a White Knight is. So fill them in, Gary.
So White Knight is just that bitch that always will, like, the guy who wants to be, the true gentleman, and just be a bitch and like, just get walked over by women. And in today's internet age, when so many of us see like fat chicks and ugly chicks like posting shit on Instagram and whatever and getting a lot of likes, 9 times out of 10 it's these white knights that are boosting these girls' self-confidence. So they're to blame. When you see a lot of fat chicks and ugly chicks on Instagram strutting their shit around, you can blame these assholes who aren't getting laid, who are fucking on there like, giving them likes and shit.
What is, it's not 16 Candles. What's the other Molly Ringwald 80s movie that was real big?
So not 16 Candles. Oh, Breakfast
Club? No, not Breakfast Club. She was in the other one with fucking, shit. 1 second, because
she wasn't in the one with the guy with the radio, right?
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink, yeah.
Ducky from,
Ducky.
From Pretty in Pink is the ultimate... he is the White Knight. Yeah. He was the White Knight before internet White Knights even existed. Actually, the running joke on the internet is that all White Knights wear a fedora.
Yeah.
And I think it's because Ducky in Pretty in Pink wore a fedora when he was best friends with she was trying to bang Molly Ringwald. But Mary Ringwald was into the rich preppy dude from the good side of the tracks. He was a famous. He's a good fucking actor. I forget who he is.
Oh, it's the dude from 3.5 Men, 2.5 Men. With when Charlie Sheen was on the show before.
Yeah. Wait,
that actor, the other guy, his brother in the show. I don't remember his name.
No, he's the one that played Ducky. I'm talking.
He's Ducky. Yeah,
he's Ducky. Who's the guy who plays the guy who's going to bang the rich kid who's going to bang Molly Ringwald?
Oh, that's James Spader.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is. I fucking love Spader.
Man. Yeah.
He is a fucking outstanding. He did a stint on The Office as one of Michael Scott's replacements.
Yes.
And he was fucking hilarious. Spader's a fucking
He's a
G.
good actor. Yeah.
So anyway, we've got a white knight here.
So yeah, I mean, think of the white knight. What was I was gonna relate it to something. Fuck, now I can't remember. But okay, so yeah, you deserve a cuddle buddy. Say yes. Oh no, what I was gonna say was, think you see more and more of these douchebags now on like YouTube and shit, like posting like the video of them. Like,
on behalf of all men, I apologize.
Yeah, or the guy that like makes a sign for his prom date.
I
and
fucking
like,
hate these
or
guys.
like writes him a poem. And
crap.
Yeah.
I think I asked my date to the prom via AIM.
Yeah. So it's these guys that are like put on a big production to ask a girl to the prom, and it's cringeworthy, and you're like, what? Faggot. Yeah, essentially.
We can say faggots. By the way, we don't hate gay people.
No.
We're just saying the word faggots because we grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
And back then, it was okay to call...
It was a cool word.
It was okay to call your buddy a fag because every fucking high school student didn't turn fucking suicidal over a fucking word. So, faggots!
You deserve a cuddle buddy. Say yes. Hi, isn't it time you enjoyed a man cuddling close, touching you head to toe, and helping you relax and forget your problems for an hour or more? Sex is not permitted. Just sensual cuddling and massage. Come to my place and relax. Take the time for your pleasure. Forget your troubles and let your mind and hands wander. Okay. Yeah.
At least he's encouraging to let her hands wander. Maybe this is just a guy trying to land sneaky hand jobs.
I don't know. I watched the whole thing of Vice on like Japan and like the cuddle rooms and shit. I think like dudes just like don't know how to, like they don't know how to be men anymore. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm sensual.
There's a fear now of all things masculine.
Yes.
We've associated male aggression, testosterone, these things that are bred into biologically for the preservation of the species. Through evolution, we've been left with these traits that are now, society has told us, are undesirable.
Yeah.
Because they're antisocial. Whatever. Like, kids don't play fucking pick up and slaughter anymore.
Oh, that was a great game.
How awesome was that fucking game?
It was a great game, yeah.
Like, that game, and you would think that the tiny kid in Pick Up and Slaughter would constantly be getting his ass kicked, but I would argue that the tiny kid in Pick Up and Slaughter can have his confidence boosted massively in two ways. One, little kids can juke like crazy.
Yeah.
So if you hold the ball longer than anyone, even though you're eventually going to get slaughtered, you're learning, like, well, you're getting a great cardio workout, but you're also learning, like, yo, I'm good at something that these bigger guys aren't. Like, I have this endurance, I can juke, I can get around them, like, they might be tougher to take down, but I'm evading them longer. And then, as a little kid, you also get to dive into gang tackles and experience being rough without getting your fucking ass kicked.
Yep.
Like, it's a perfect backyard game for little boys to play.
Yeah.
That one was fun. Hail Mary was a fucking blast.
Hail Mary was a fun game, and I mean, don't they outlaw dodgeball in schools
Dodgeball's
nowadays?
gone.
Dodgeball was a great
Prison
game.
Dodge was the fucking
Prison Dodge
bomb.
was the shit.
That Prison Dodge is perfect because this argument that, like, Dodge, marginalizes kids, like, whatever, like, okay, you're out, now you just get to hang out around the back and try to catch a fucking ball. Like, you can be a contributor too. Like, we're turning people into fucking pussies.
If there was a dodgeball league, I would fucking join it.
Oh, there are. They have them in Hoboken.
No, so that
You're talking about, like, savage.
No. Yeah, I don't mean like co-ed
fucking,
ones.
You're talking about, like,
Nancy got hit in the face. She's hurt. No, I think the organization you're part of, they run the same thing in Morris now where I am. So
dude,
they're co-ed. That's probably something I could do with my fiance.
Yeah, it's like
an activity.
Dude, it's a solid thing for you and Lisa. Like, just to meet new people. Like, and the other nice thing is, like, for training and shit. Like, this morning, like, I woke up. I had a thing of bulletproof coffee, smoked a little weed.
Yeah,
and went down. So, like, I had a combination of caffeine, weed, and then the endorphins from running around. I leave that game feeling like a fucking $1,000,000.
Yeah.
I get an hour worth of conditioning work in, and I meet 8 new people who I get, hang out with every Saturday for a couple hours.
What is it called again?
Zog.
Zog. This is a New York City-based thing. Okay.
They have it. They for sure have it.
No, they have it.
Fucking
I have
Morristown.
it. It's a different organization. Because this is a Hudson County league. Zog Sports. Yeah, no, this is something I do too. I need something to get my fucking ass out of the house every once in a while.
Yeah, dude, it's a fucking it's a little shitty for me because I have to wake up early on a Saturday after coming home from work late on a Friday. But I look it's like my favorite way to fill it fills in the winter for me too.
Yeah,
because I go from
winter sucks ass.
The season starts right after New Year's and then it goes right up until St. Patrick's Day. So it's like I'm occupied every Saturday morning until St. Patty's, then you rage for St. Patrick's Day, and then 2 weeks later, it's fucking springtime.
It's springtime, yeah.
So it's like a nice way to sort of fill the gap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been enjoying it thoroughly.
And it's all in Hoboken.
Yeah, it's right down. It's right down the fight. It's like a 10-minute walk for me. So I get nice and ripped when I wake up in the morning. The cold air hits you. You're a little bit stoned. You get the headphones on with some music going. It's a very pleasurable way to dive into the weekend. It's almost like it's like starting the weekend by diving into when you go into the ocean, you can either tiptoe in or you can dive right in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like diving right into the ocean that first week of June when the water's still a little bit cold. Is the way I would describe it.
I see.
Anything else you want to throw at us there from the phone?
Nah, I mean, I think, we like to spread these out and give the listeners a little...
It's a real treat.
Some treats, every once in a while, of how fucked up society is and how many idiots post this shit for the whole world to see.
It is.
On the internet.
The internet has been a blessing and a curse. It's exposed us to a world of jackasses whom to ridicule, but it's empowering the jackasses to band together and sign change.org petitions that fuck things up for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And what's Sinersha up to? Anything soon or?
Nah. This is it's become just pretty much like guys in their 30s, just once a week having some fun.
You guys gonna play the city any chance?
Nothing yet. I mean, and when we find out, I'll tell.
That one you did was the DL, the Delancey. Last time?
That was god.
That was a nice fucking show to watch, dude. I enjoyed it. I had a couch all to my fucking self.
that night sucked for me.
Turned into a gay bar 10 minutes later. But
almost died on the way there, and then the stage was flooding in front of some Mexican janitor was just fucking constantly mopping up the stage while we were playing, and then it turned into a gay bar after we left. After it ended,
beers,
it was
we
just
turn around, we just see
great fucking night. Yeah,
a bunch of young twinks sucking face. Good for them.
Yeah,
good for them, dude. Those motherfuckers. You know what? They do their thing, but they have the most aggressive sex lives on the fucking planet.
Yeah, I mean, think of it. It's just dudes who just go out. And that's why I said Craigslist is just filled with gay guys.
They just score cock on the fucking ring.
You're gay. You're an endless supply of dick.
Good for you, young chaps.
Yeah.
Leave the pussy to the rest of us. Make us fucking work. We have to fucking work for it. Yeah. You will never. They may know the pain of coming out to their families and being ostracized in high school, but they will never know the uphill climb of working for quality.
They could just pull their dick
pussy.
out, and some dude is gonna suck on it. So.
Yeah, there is a completely other side to that coin where it's like the fight to achieve vagina is such a fucking. Eventually, once you figure it out, it kind of becomes like a thing where you're like, okay, now I know how to go about doing it, and I can pull this off pretty regularly. But when you're first trying to figure out how to get that,
it's a pain in the ass.
It's not fucking easy.
And I wish I had. I mean, both of us, we grew up without any kind of older brother figures.
Yeah, we did.
Nobody taught me shit.
Surprisingly, amongst the people we grew up with, we had girls from a younger age and longer, and probably did more than some of our friends, a good chunk of our friends.
Yeah, that's true.
There were a handful of dudes who were the girls consider like, oh, like the fucking like best guys. Like those guys are always like settled down with chicks like whenever they wanted in school. But like you and I both had from like a junior and senior year both had girls who would
we did all right. I'm just saying, like I'm hearing like I've got family where the kids are young, like they're like the second or third brother.
Oh yeah,
and these kids learn shit when like in fifth grade. The one,
much.
I mean, you know, you would know him, but like one cousin was a freshman in high school, fucking a senior.
Yeah,
his brother below him, I think, was in middle school plowing chicks. I mean, I was in middle school. I was like just figuring out how to like jerk off for the first time.
I saw the fucking mushroom.
Yeah, I was a mess. Like, but so like these kids, like they get guidance, you know, at a bit younger age.
Yeah.
I mean, we're Christmas Eve, we're sitting in my basement, and I got the one cousin who's like, I don't even think he's maybe in middle school, and there's kids like sitting around talking about like titty fucking girls. I'm like,
Jesus
if I heard
Christ.
that when I was in fifth grade, like my head would have fucking exploded.
Jesus, good tit fuck. Oh, a good tit fuck is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best finishing moves on the planet.
Yeah.
Ladies, if you're listening, and you got the pair, surprise your man with a nice lubed up tit job when you finish next time in the bedroom. He will appreciate and love you forever if you do it the right way. Just fucking lay on top of it and let those puppies go to work. I think we're wrapped for this weekend.
Yeah, we got a lot in.
We got some nice content here, savages. All right, well, one last time. If you want to check us out on Facebook, we are The Savage Crew. Patrick Bateman is our avatar. Same thing on Twitter, @The Savage Crew. And you can find me on Twitter, @Mike Montone as well. Keep listening. I'm going to try to pump out like a show once every week or two, and we'll have more casual encounters to come for sure. And then there are other things we want to do, video-wise, audio-wise, etc. Once some of our time frees up, we'll produce some of that shit. I need to get JT the Twink in here too. He's a funny motherfucker, but he's never around. But until next time, toodles. Gary, want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Later, bitches.